What is going on, baseball fans? It's your boy Tino here, back with another New York Mets video. Welcome back to Whaddya Shea, the exclusive YouTube channel for all things New York Mets. And in honor of Francisco Lindor's introductory press conference of him putting on a Mets fitted for the very first time in front of the New York media, I thought it'd be a fun idea if we went through and broke down and took a look at what the potential opening day lineups would look like. And we'll start with what it would look like if the season started today with just Francisco Lindor. But then we're going to have a little bit of fun, and then we'll break down what the lineups can look like and what this team will look like as a whole if they start to make some other moves that they're supposed to make and ultimately get some more big fish to come swim in this gigantic pond here at Citi Field. But let's get started with what things would look like if this season started today, if opening day was right now. And this is what we're looking at right now. Brandon Nimmo would be a guy that has to stay in that leadoff spot and would roam center field because of where this team is at structurally at the moment. And, not for nothing, Brandon Nimmo was a very serviceable and solid leadoff hitter, probably one of the top ones in the league in terms of on-base percentage. Always gets hit with the ball, always gets on base. And then when you look at what's behind him, it really works out for this team because you have Jeff McNeil to move him over. And then I figured Francisco Lindor would make more sense here in the 3-hole. I know you start lefty, then a switch with another lefty. But with the way this team looks right now, all the big-time hitters and the clutch hitters and the guys that are going to make plays on offense for this team are lefty hitters at this point right now. 5 of the top 6 will probably be better suited from the left-handed side other than Lindor being a switch and obviously Pete. But so you have Lindor there in the 3-hole, and now, right now I have Mike Conforto. They're slid into the 4-hole. Makes a lot of sense for me, but I know that Dom batted there last year, so that would also make a lot of sense. But I'm in favor of Conforto. I have a big soft spot for Conforto, although they haven't worked on his contract extension yet, and a lot of people don't know if that's going to get done. I really hope it does. I hope he's a Met for life, and I think he's someone that really solidifies his batting order and this team by holding down right field. And I think ultimately he should be in that 4 spot as of right now, but I could see him switching with Dom and being in the 6 spot instead. But then we have Pete, then we have Dom or Conforto. You go J.D. McCann, and then sneaking in there in that 9 spot, the double leadoff as of right now where this team's constructed, it's Luis Guillorme, someone we talked about on the Entertainers Talking Sports live stream. Don't forget about him. He's still on this team. It's someone they view highly in terms of the front office. And right now, if the season started with how this team's constructed and with how the DH will be implemented, it would make a lot of sense for Luis Guillorme to get the reps at second, move Jeff to third, and then you start JD in left field because you have Dom and Pete rotating at the DH spot. But now let's think. Okay, we should get Springer. Maybe we get Jackie Bradley Jr. at the bare minimum, which should happen. One of the two, and you'll see where signing a center fielder should be the next move for this team because it really brings the team and the lineup together and what we have. But without Jackie Bradley Jr., let's talk about Springer. Let's stay positive. That's the guy we want. That's the big fish. So let's take a look at what the lineup would look like opening day if it was Springer. And it pretty much looks where it was on the last lineup, except you're going to switch Nimmo down to the double leadoff in the 9-hole, and then you have Springer roaming center field and batting leadoff, but everything else will stay the same. Again, Conforto and Dom can switch. I think the cleanup spot is going to be something where we ride the hot hand. You might even see Pete move up to that 4 spot, but I think it's nice to have him sandwiched in between both Conforto and Dom with those left-handed bats. But I mean, a really, really good lineup, and you can see how it, in terms of where people are playing on the field, Springer or a center fielder could bring this all together. Now, if we did get JBJ and Jackie Bradley Jr., I would put Nimmo back to leadoff and then Jackie Bradley Jr. down at the double leadoff spot. But still, Springer now at center. You move Nimmo over to left, and then you give Jeff McNeil the comfort of actually playing second base where we've wanted him as Met fans to play since the last 2 seasons. And then you have J.D. Davis getting the reps and getting the looks over at third base. And although he struggled with his glove there, and they've come out and say that there's work to be done with it, I do feel confident that if JD got the reps, he would be someone that can show up and really give us something out of the third base position. But now, let's have a little game of hypothetical. Let's have some fun here, and let's think about it. Springer's the big fish. We got the big fish in Lindor. What's one more, right? Let's put together our own super team. I don't think super teams always work. Maybe if it's the NBA, a super team works. But I think, though, if this super team comes together for the Mets, and you'll see it in a second, it's over for Major League Baseball. I mean, it is done. the lineup that we would put together if the Mets can pull off a trade for Kris Bryant. And now I want to caution us when we look at this lineup. The last video I put out, I explained what it would cost for Kris Bryant. Francisco Alvarez is the main part, but I do believe that either JD, Nimmo, or Dom, at least two of the three, should be in that deal somehow. But for the sake of argument, and for our dream team and our super team on what the best case scenario for a Met fan would be, let's just say JD Davis, the guy slotted in at third base for us, is the only guy in there other than prospects and Alvarez and someone else that gets traded, and we somehow keep Nimmo and Dom. Well, just look. Just look at this lineup. Look at the top three. That is straight out of an all-star game. Absolutely insane. It is so good, Jeff McNeil has to bat seventh. And still, the lone question mark in this would be, who the heck's the cleanup hitter? You just ride the hot hand. I mean, 1, 2, 3 is absolutely unconscious. Unconscious and unfair. And even if it was Jackie Bradley Jr. instead, same thing applies. Bring Nimmo to the leadoff spot, have Lindor and Bryant behind him, and the rest is the rest. And it's bonkers. I mean, I could stare at this all day long. I know you guys can. And ideally, come April 1st, 2021, in 4 months, I'm really hoping this is what the lineup looks like. I haven't seen a lineup this good, even assembled on like a Diamond Dynasty team in MLB this show. This thing is out of a movie. That's how good it is. But it's nice to dream. It's nice to want. And as a Met fan right now, I think we can get all these things and make these things happen. But it'll take time. And one step at a time. We had Francisco Lindor today. Cookie is going to be introduced, Carlos Cookie Carrasco, with his press conference tomorrow on Tuesday. And, you know, there's going to be more videos to come like this, but be sure to please let me know what you think. Go in the comments below. Let me know what lineups you liked, what lineups you didn't like, anything I didn't touch on. Let me know what other type of videos you would like to see. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe and turn on those notifications so that this way when any content comes out here from Whaddya Shea, especially our live streams that will be coming soon as we pump out stuff for the podcast, you guys will get informed and know when all that stuff comes out. So again, sub to the channel, comment and let me know what you guys are thinking. And thank you for tuning in, man. Let's go Mets. Big day, Frankie in his first hat. We might get our hair dyed blonde. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see how crazy the season gets. But let's go Mets. Talk to you guys next time. Give us a follow from the description below.